Hashtag Grover was right. I agree, Mauricio. I agree. Although Mr. Johnson, he just wanted his meal to be fucking correct. I don't know what the hell happened with Grover, just fucking with him for years and years, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, Jeet, how are you doing today on this wonderful evening while we do the Double Toast pre-show?
For some reason, I'm still reading porn comics.
Wait, you're still reading that one weird-ass comic that had the sex in it and everything?
Yeah.
Why? Why is this?
Once I get started with something, I can't stop.
Okay, I mean, that's almost like a glowing fucking review for that thing. It's like, I can't stop.
It's not.
The sex is so good.
It's not. The comic's actually pretty terrible, but it's just like, I mean, if I go long run.
Yeah, shit. Ryan's saying, oh, YouTube is delayed as hell, so I'll be here. Oh, that sucks, man. But, I mean, hey, at least you're still here hanging out with us, man. Really appreciate it. Hashtag Justice for Grover. Yeah, I actually understand that whole thing going on. Game Boy, hello, Nick, coming in from the wild and weird side of the internet. Oh, yes, dude, honestly, every single side of the fucking internet's weird, dude. Especially with all the topics we got today. The thumbnail literally has Sasha Banks and Sammy Guevara on there. And, ooh, that whole fucking thing is just crazy. But, yeah, Jeet. Did you feel, like, what percentage of the internet do you feel is weird?
About 90%.
90%?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, I was actually, I swear to God, I don't know why, I felt like you weren't going to go, like, that crazy with it. You know, but no, yeah, it's definitely not fucking weird, man. This place is crazy. Cedric. Why can't you call yourself Cedric? He says, you know what, you should start and not stop till it's over? Watching the Apple. Or as the Aspel, as you talked about before. G. Juksan. Ryan, you gotta be careful with those two, by the way. You made someone really mad in the after hours. Well, I taught you about that already, so it's all good. But today we're talking.
I don't have a problem with me being called G. Jutsun.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I fuck with you so much just with your names, like G. Jot.
You got to a point even on Arc where basically, like, I call myself a different, like, variant of fucking Jet, like Get, Ket.
Yo, tomorrow I'm gonna show people your character on Arc because your character's just fucking crazy. You got huge ass, super duper titties. You got the small ass fucking head, like.
Don't forget my big fucking Italian hands.
Do you miss those back in the day, like the big head sheets? 'Cause that's kind of what you do.
I like making my characters look really stupid.
Yeah, like literally people like she does shit like this. Oh, look at Tommy Vercetti over here in Vice City. That's fucking awful. That is that's terrible. That's really really bad. Yeah, I don't know why people want to do that. Although I mean it looks really defined though. It's like man, they put a lot of fucking effort into that. But you know what? It is what it is. Good old big head.
They need to call this bobblehead mode.
They really should. I mean, why don't they just have it bobble? You know what I mean? It just kind of like sticks there all stiff and shit, and you're like going into the walls, and you're all stuck in there and everything. Game Boy SP saying big titty cheat code. Yes, big titty mode. There we go. Although I feel like that would be like canceled or something. People would be upset. Like, oh my god, like it's already bad that we don't have it right out here, and then you gotta put the titties out there. This is ridiculous. But here's the thing: is usually I'd be talking shit.
Oh, I'm actually laughing at what Mauricio said. Jet Jackson's the Disney Channel. I think he meant to say show. I found that out scrolling on demand one day, so I wonder if that is even her real name. Oh, it is.
Yeah. Well, no, the famous Jet Jackson. Yeah, I gotta tell you, like the fact that you have so many emails and everything like that, like with this name in it, and then like your Facebook URL is at. What about this show do you love so much that you had to make all your names about him?
What do you mean it's my real name?
No, it's not. God,
Yes,
Jet
it
Jackson, the movie. Oh, God.
No relation. I mean, we have someone in the chat named Chris Brown.
No, but he's the good Chris Brown. You're
But
still the famous
he's
Jet
still
Jackson.
Chris Brown. We can have the same name.
No, you can't.
Mr. Nick Diaz.
Oh, no, that's just because my parents had a lack of fucking creativity. Like, I'm sorry, that's the case.
And also, this show, like, Jet Jackson was fun as shit. Also, Beyonce was in it.
Oh, really? She was? Like, was she still in Destiny's Child or no?
That I don't remember. I think she was.
She
Because
was.
this was early 2000.
Yeah, people, and just so you guys know, we've been having a lot of nostalgia trips lately. We all sat in a call watching Zoom, and then fucking, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, Weakest Link. But then at a certain point, we kept watching Drake get killed, and then I'm looking over here, and like, one of the first things I saw up here, actually, let me go back up. It said something about like how this guy died, apparently. It's like, damn, like, what's all the people dying so fucking young? Like, there's a lot of depression from this era of television and whatnot.
He was a good actor.
Yeah,
It
no.
was upsetting when he basically, did that to himself.
What did he die, by the way? Like, what did he die of?
Suicide.
Suicide? What the fuck? Jesus. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, Ryan saying we watched the Page match Sunday morning. No one thought it held up. That's fucking terrible. Danny H. Sammy Guevara is my dog, but man, what a knucklehead. Yeah, that guy's a fucking knucklehead. And I'm going to talk about that really quick before Ganja and Roxy come in here because we got to go full force this thing. There's a thing that I actually really want to bring up, or not bring up, but just kind of do a little segment because there's so many things happening on Facebook that's just fucking nuts, right? But I want to call it Facebook fuckery because there's never an end to Facebook fuckery. So I did. This is technically our first episode of Facebook fuckery, and me and this guy we're in this page, this fan page for AEW, and I crossed out his name so you guys don't have to see it or anything. As a matter of fact, let me actually fucking zoom in here so you guys can see some of that. Let me know, chat, if you guys can actually read this because I know it's probably frustrating to hear me talk this long. But he goes, hashtag AEW Tony Khan. The ratings are going to drop under 500,000 this week, and I'm going to be watching this week for the first time. Hashtag Sammy apologized. Hashtag Sasha Banks accepted his apology. Or as he wrote, apology. Hashtag boycott till Sammy is back. I was barely a fan of his until now. Now, with all that being said there, what was the thing that you think really stood out when I read this, Jet?
The fact that he apologized. It's just like, I mean, so
Yeah.
like just because you apologize doesn't mean that basically like we have to accept it. Like, okay, and who's to say like he actually is sorry for it and not just basically just saying it so like he basically makes the fans feel better.
Exactly. And oh, Platinum Mashup X, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Look at Charmander go, fucking shaking that ass. But hey, if you're a person who really likes your wrestling and whatnot, or actually doesn't, we're about to get kind of deep
I mean,
here.
you're not. I like how you're getting all into Facebook drama and you're just like, yeah, I got the screenshots. I'm gonna expose this fucking person being a dumbass. You're diving deep. Like you're nicer than me because I wouldn't have crossed out their name.
No, thank you very much. Yeah, because I did want to be nice, but at the same time, like when I did this at first, I was gonna leave his fucking name in there because I was so fucking mad. But to read more into this fucking dude, I said, wait, so the guy who isn't even a fan of his has earned your support over discussing how he wants to rape somebody? You know, this ain't a good look, right? Because the thing that I was paying attention to the most, not the apology and Sasha Banks accepted it. No, it was I was barely a fan of his until now. How the fuck were you not a fan of his or barely a fan of his? And then him being like accused of saying these things or whatever, now that made you a fan? Not his talents? Because he's a talented guy. I think Sammy Guevara is a fucking wonderful wrestler. And he's a good looking dude. And he's good on the mic. And he's hilarious. I actually like the dude. Because of his wrestling shit. This guy over here, the no-name face dude, he was saying that he liked him because of the fact that, this whole thing's going on. He's mad about, a guy saying rapey shit, getting in trouble. So we went on and on about this. Basically, I just kept kind of reaffirming to him, like, hey, dude, you said it. Literally, it's right there in front of your fucking face. And he basically told me, he's like, dude, learn to read. I said barely. So I just said, you're telling me to learn how to read. You keep spelling my name wrong like you're going to get last with a second grade caliber fucking dick joke. Because he calls me Dick Diaz, which is very, kindergarten.
Nah, that shit's high school. What you talking about? That's up there with the college grade kind of wit.
But then basically my last thing I said to him, just for anyone who's actually listening, not watching, I said, be careful what you say on the internet. No one's making you get hyperbolic enough to spontaneously support a wrestler you don't even like because he said he wanted to rape somebody. People like you are the reasons why there's validity to why women are scared of men and don't like us. You're a part of the problem, you fucking internet tough guy. And the reason why I brought this up on the show here is because this is a pretty big story. The fact that this fucking Sammy Guevara is being defended by people is insane to me. I actually heard the clip, and the guy that he was on the podcast with was laughing his fucking ass off. Sammy goes on there, he's like, yo, dude, I was, training for WWE, they had me do this little tiny thing, and I walked by Sasha Banks. Gosh, she's so beautiful, Sasha Banks. I just wanted to fucking rape her, bro. I just wanted to rape her. I said it like twice. And the guy's like, ha, it's crazy. Anyway, so how was WWE again? Just trying to, like, get out the fucking subject and everything?
How can you defend that?
Say what?
How can you defend that?
Exactly. And there's tons of wrestling fans defending it. Like, a ton of them. And I'm just like, I'm fucking flabbergasted because I didn't want to, I wasn't able to capture the rest of my conversation with the no-name face guy. But the thing is, though, is like, he started telling me, oh, dude, look at this fucking liberal snowflake. Dude, I don't even know what the fuck a liberal snowflake is. I don't know anything about that kind of shit. And the biggest thing about this, too, is the fact that, like, dude, I don't understand why we still have to have this thing where we feel ashamed for being triggered. Yes, dude, the guy said rapey shit. I'm fucking triggered. I am sorry, but it affects me like that. But Jet, do you feel like I overreacted, Jet?
No, it's not an overreaction. He literally said he wanted to rape someone. That's not funny, especially with how many people actually do get raped and how many people are coming out now who used to like make jokes about rape and who actually are raping people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not funny. And also, like, I like the whole like, oh my god, you're so triggered thing because it's like, the dude literally said like, I'm not watching AEW anymore because of this. I can't believe they suspended him without pay. They didn't actually fire him, but they suspended him. You know what? I can't stand this. I'm not watching anymore. And you're not triggered? That doesn't make no sense.
That sounds pretty triggered, yeah. But
coming from inside the house, sir.
Really quick though, I'm actually going to answer this call from Corey. But Roxy, what do you feel about this whole situation about being triggered and all these kind of things?
Well, I think it's funny that the people who like to call this shit out, like Jet said, the calls from inside the house. So let's be honest, you're just mad that you're being called out over jokes and a bunch of shit that you used to make in high school and middle school. You thought it was funny, and now you're mad that someone's calling you out and telling you, yo, dude, this shit's fucked up. Don't be laughing about this shit no more.
Yeah.
None of this is funny. But no, if we say something about like, okay, so this dude, I could make any single assumption about this dude, and he'd get pissed. How could you say that about wrestling fans? How could you say that about me? You don't even fucking know me. I can tell you got small dick energy from the way that you're just sitting here defending someone that made a joke about rape, which isn't funny at all.
Yeah.
And you're ugly, and you have a bad hairline.
No, exactly. And here's the biggest thing about this, too, because somebody actually on the Facebook thing, which, by the way, if you're watching right now, Armando Gonzalez, thank you for actually watching this from the Children of the Toast and everything, but he sent me this post. This actually just came out right now, a day ago, but Joey Ryan. And, we talked about this in the After Hours. I know Ruthless, if you're watching right now, and Rojo Bear, we talked about this. But they're like, man, I'm actually kind of shocked about Joey Ryan, about, whatever. And, I'm not saying they all said that, by the way. I might be just saying the wrong name, so I apologize if I said that. But the thing is,
lollipop, or is he looking like a?
It's a lollipop, but here's what he does though. This is a character, is that because it's supposed to be a big joke, right? Like he wrestles somebody, then he puts his hand on your crotch. It could be a girl, it could be a guy, doesn't matter. He grabs your genitals, and you're supposed to overreact to it. And he does like big wrestling moves and like knocks you the fuck out and all this stuff by holding your dick. That's his gimmick. And everyone's like surprised, like I can't believe he's a dude who's doing some nasty shit. What? He sexually assaults people? Yeah, like. I hate this defense, and I'm not going to name any names. We got to be careful about naming names on this part. But, any After Hours...
Oh, I got a name for my example coming up soon.
Well, hopefully not. Because one thing I will say is, somebody that we know in our particular community, we're talking about After Hours and blackface and things like that, and a particular person got mad and said, hey, man, I've been a rapist. I played a rapist in a movie before. People act, But I'm like, what is it about you that didn't feel anything wrong about playing a rapist? I understand everyone has to do what they gotta do for money or for whatever, but clearly you weren't that passionate if you're not a current movie actor right now. And my thing about this is because granted, I'm not gonna judge somebody because they're a rapist in a movie, but when they have something, this dude's whole character is molesting and grabbing people's junk and being a pervert and being a sex freak. So why are we shocked? I don't understand that. It's some of these things, even if you did a KKK thing or a blackface thing and it's a joke or it's satire, bro, still it's fucked up. I should be able to look at you a different way because of that. I'm not trying to say completely judge you, but 25% I can kind of judge you. I feel that way hardcore. But Ganja, what were you gonna say, man?
I was gonna say it's a similar situation that we had occur with Joe Rogan and the whole Joey Diaz situation, where the clip of his podcast comes out and he was talking about women having women suck his dick in order to get them to play the Belly Room show, even though he had no actual real influence in Hollywood. And fun fact, I actually do remember watching that clip live. You ever watch so much episodes of something that you forget you watched it?
Yeah. Yep.
So once the clip started, I was like, oh fuck, I do remember this. And yeah, Joe's laughing his ass off. Joey Diaz is having a good old time talking about, I made these motherfuckers suck my dick. They think they can get famous that way. So they're, sucking la pinga. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, I'm just surprised. As someone who's been an old school Joe Rogan fan, I am honestly surprised to a really big certain extent that people are just now finding out how bad the circle he runs with. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Joey Diaz, but even I know when the motherfucker's fucking up and when he says some shit that just does not sound right or it just comes off as a dickheaded move, especially with him being some loudmouth from the coke user from the 70s. I think that's a lot of his appeal, and I think that's one of the things I like about him is he has that Miss Pat energy with him. He's real, and he comes across as this, as much of a scumbag as he is. He also comes off as this real dude because as much as his scumbag he is, that's him. And I think a lot of people like that for that reason. But also, you got to accept the same thing when people like Sam Kinison or any other comedian that has like a bad history with treating people poorly. At this point, you have Cat Williams on that list as well. If you like these guys, yeah, you like these guys because they're comedics and they make you laugh and shit like that. But at the end of the day, you should judge them for their actions. And the way Joey Diaz was talking about it and the way he's talked about his opinion on women and like just history in general, it's not out of his wheelhouse to actually have done that. I'm gonna have to say allegedly because I don't want to get sued by the Joey Diaz estate. But if you listen to any of these comedians, like a fucking what's his name? The dude that now thinks he's a guru because he eats mushrooms on a daily basis. He had his show on Netflix recently.
Yeah, I forgot who the fuck that was too.
That's a lot of people, babe.
Duncan Trussell. His if you guys ever listen to like Duncan Trussell's like old podcast episodes and like listen to him talking to Joe Rogan, he was a cynical fucking asshole who did like rape and molesting jokes because he thought it was funny. He had like a puppet that he would do like sadistic jokes with because he thought dark humor was the fucking big thing of comedy. Now he's done mushrooms, so now he's quote unquote Hollywood woke. So he talks about chakra energies and angels that appear when you smoke DMT and all that weird fucking shit that don't matter to people in real life. But it's honestly what it is. It's just you guys are catching these guys now because cameras and social media is so big, and the fact that podcasting honestly is just a big old confessional box for most people. How many times have we said jokes or stories that we probably haven't should have said on the podcast because we got comfortable enough we decided to share that with you guys, the audience? And that's honestly what happened with Joey Diaz, and it sounds like what happened with this asshole as well. Is they got so comfortable with the person they were with that they just let out a huge part of themselves that you would probably release on an asshole move during a drinking buddy day.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm surprised that this is all coming out now. People are shocked. And when it comes to the whole cancel culture thing, I'm very iffy when it comes to people who are like, yo, man, I don't support cancel culture, bro. I think people are getting too PC. I think Nick Diaz is becoming a liberal cuckold and shit. I think you got some skeletons in your closets. And I can say that as someone who has skeletons in the closet, but nothing to the where I fucking voided consent like that.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with everything you said, man. I mean, I couldn't say it better myself, and that's the biggest thing about this dude. Like, I don't know really what to say in the sense of like, I don't want to like judge all these fucking wrestlers. I don't want to judge, I mean, dude, Joey Diaz goes so fucking crazy, and I will say that the only thing I never really liked about him back in the day was the fact that he's so fucking nuts that it's hard for him to keep up with it. He can't even fucking breathe while he's losing his fucking mind sometimes when he talks all crazy. But the thing is, though, is like it's a little disingenuous sometimes.
That boy's got to breathe, dog.
And literally that segment, because I had to listen to it, and he's like, "Oh, dude, Joe Rogan, you don't even know I had pictures on my dick." Blah blah blah. It's like, honestly, it does sound disingenuous. I can tell someone's full of shit. He's kind of full of shit a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like, oh, well, that means he didn't fucking do something messed up to some girls. No, I believe that too. I know he did something.
I don't know if the number's real, but I definitely think he has someone suck his dick, think they can get some showtime.
Yeah, and it's fucked up, and it's fucked up that people laughed or whatever. But at the same time, Joe Rogan has been, hey, Spotify is fucking giving him like a goddamn, basically a fucking mansion just to talk about poo-poo and shit. Fucking, everything's huge for him, and it's like, you guys can't cancel Joe Rogan now. I'm sorry, but like, you can't really cancel Joey Diaz at this point. Like, that's not the only time he said that. He said a lot of fucked
all right,
up
to
shit.
be honest, like the idea of canceling is so retarded to me. And yeah, I used a handicap slur. I don't give a fuck. Cancel me. But this goes right towards my point. When someone gets to a level of fame where their brand is known as this outlandish, like deep talker, idea provoking son of a bitch that Joe Rogan and a lot of comedians like to portray themselves as, once they get to a certain level of notoriety and fame and popularity, and more importantly, profitability, they become Teflon Dons because no matter what, you become either a person that everyone hates and only your real hardcore fans or people that are hate the PC culture supports you. I think honestly a lot of the Gamergate stuff can be applied to what's going on in comedy right now, because you're seeing a lot of comedians that are getting their shit called out, rightly so and unrightly so, depending on your point of view on a lot of the topics and what it's their stories. It's like cops, people are innocent till guilty and all that shit.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, guilty or not, these people have careers still. Everyone's still doing shows. I'm pretty sure the Chris dude's got an open mic night tonight where it's probably going to sell out because people want to support him and say, hoes be lying and shit like that. You know how I know? Because they did that with Cosby. They did that with Elvis. They do this with all celebrities. After a certain point, you become untouchable unless you start fucking with the IRS or you kill somebody. And
I can give you two examples for that right now, too, hon.
What happened, babe?
After you finish your point, I could add in something else, too.
Oh, no, okay. When you kill somebody, all those stuff that's like high bears, even then, fucking not Caitlyn Jenner. Is it Caitlyn Jenner? Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner is possibly going to get off on killing somebody with a hit and run.
Oh,
shit.
yep. Yeah, that shit.
So, even right there, celebrities get away with fucking everything. So the fact that these people that are now Hollywood famous are saying, yo, I'm worried about cancel culture and all that. We haven't had cancel culture since the 1940s when you had the House of Un-American Activities going around and blacklisting people in Hollywood. Since then, you maybe had censor boards that gave people a hard time in the 70s and 80s, but you never had it like the 50s and 60s. Cancel culture is a farce that is sold to a lot of right-wingers and Gamergate people so they can feel better about supporting fucking assholes and treat it as a political standpoint.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with everything you said. And, Roxy, what were you going to say about that, too?
I was going to say I could give you 2 more examples on cancel culture and how it doesn't work. Well, 3, technically.
Well, shit, throw them out there. Let's hear it. And thank you very much for the Twitch follow, by the way, whoever that was. I really
Thanks for the
apologize.
follow.
Thank you!
But go ahead.
I didn't see the name, but thank you. But something that's been bothering me for a while is if you start out your career as an asshole, as someone who speaks the truth and says what's on their mind, you can't get canceled at that point. If you have a controversial start, then people can just be like, oh, that's just how that person is. That person's just wild. That person's just crazy. A good example of that is Jeffree Star.
Yeah, that's true.
He said he's talked about throwing bleach onto black women to make them look better. He's posed with Nazi paraphernalia with the Southern Pride flag. He's talked endless shit about killing minorities. He talks shit about how N-words and death row want him as their last meal. On top of a bunch of other fucked up shit that's still going on to this day. And this man has a mega millionaire makeup empire. Just because dude makes good makeup, nobody can cancel him. No, they've been trying to cancel him forever, and they can't.
Yeah, Hero said, he called Black Woman a gorilla. Jesus Christ, dude.
Who was also another makeup artist. And another good example with what's going on too is 6ix9ine, J. Cole. Mm-hmm. Why isn't 6ix9ine canceled? But everybody's trying to cancel J. Cole over what's been happening recently.
Yeah.
With the fact that he called out someone in a song, people found out who it was, and now they're like, man, that's bogus. You can't really talk about that. You can't put someone's name like that out on your track. We're supposed to be about love and peace and unity and all this other shit.
Yeah, and it's all bullshit.
J. Cole, do not cancel J. Cole over that. You're really thinking about canceling J. Cole at a time like this, but 6ix9ine's disgusting fucking culture vulture ass is still out here making millions? How come y'all don't focus on canceling him? Oh, because that's his brand. He's wild. He's an asshole. He goes against the grain. He calls people out. He takes the word snitch and wears it as a badge of honor. That's why you can't cancel him.
With his highlighter teeth.
No, but that's the thing that's crazy about that too. Is just I don't understand why we're able to go out of our way. I mean, that seems like you're going out of your way to just make something seem okay. And they did this shit for Eminem too. I remember that. He's like, oh no, that's an issue when the white dude says the N-word, or when they appropriate culture to that just careless fucking extent. But, he's cool. I guess we'll just give him a pass. It's well, that's why everyone thinks they can have a pass. That's why you got guys like Machine Gun Kelly and all these other fucking people just doing all this crazy shit. And granted, I'm not saying that they're all terrible. But, Jesus Christ, there's a situation where that dude Logic thinks he's black, I think. He really says a lot of shit.
He is, but he is.
Yeah, he's mixed, but he's basically just
He's very white passing. His dad's black.
Okay.
He basically, he claims white, though.
All right. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like
What room is he in at the moment, and who's the majority of the room color?
Yeah, it's a little weird how they do that, and I was, I don't know, like those things always make me go like, I don't know, but yeah, it's this whole thing's just fucked up, man. Maria's saying, yeah, he's biracial but passes for white. I know a lot of mixed people who pass for white, yeah. So I actually don't. I mean, like I do, but like they don't keep bringing up that they're fucking like, hey, I'm black, so I'm about to say some shitty things. It's almost like when someone's like, not to sound racist, but So I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy. And as far as cancel culture, you said you actually had 3. Was there one more that you had, by the way?
Me?
No, Roxy.
Okay.
Well, no, that was it. Just if you're an asshole, you can't be canceled. Jeffree Star is trash. If you have his makeup, burn it, bury it, use it up, do whatever you can. Just don't buy any more shit from him. Support J. Cole.
Seriously.
And No Name was out of line for what she said.
Yeah, no, because it's fucking crazy, that whole everything that's going on.
Corey here, but
someone can probably hear the double toaster right now. Sorry about that, people. And by the way, he has started. So you guys can go over there and watch him and do your thing. I'm actually doing something for him right now as far as the Dropbox video goes. But before we continue on,
You dropped that Dropbox, boy.
all over the box. But
Yeah.
one thing I want to
Gotta
bring
wipe
up.
her up afterwards. You gentleman.
No, one thing I want to bring up really quick that's kind of a big deal that everyone's talking about right now, which I'm kind of surprised by. But apparently Michael Keaton is in early talks to reprise the Batman role.
Oh God, Roxy's about to lose her shit.
Yeah, Roxy, what are you feeling about this? Because I feel like this is silly as fuck.
I'm so excited.
No.
Yes. I love Mr. Mom Batman. I fuck with Michael Keaton. Because, like, he's exactly the kind of Batman you want. Like, you're supposed to want a Batman that you're not supposed to, like, guess at all who he is. Like, that dude doesn't seem like Batman. Exactly. Plus, he wasn't a cop supporter.
Mm-mm.
All right, I'll give you points.
And he wasn't an asshole like Christian Bale.
I'll give
Christian
you...
Bale is an asshole. You can't deny that.
And I don't want to hear nothing about that. Oh, well, he's supposed to be a rich asshole. That's how he keeps people, off of his trail. No. Michael Keaton had money, but he donated to multiple causes. He had fucking multicultural statues and shit in his house, and he knew what the fuck he was talking about. I want a well-informed Batman. I don't want some rich, arrogant asshole.
Wow.
Mr. Mom.
All right, I'm a little bit nationalistic when it comes to my Batmans. Is it wrong that I want them American?
Oh no,
Oh.
yeah, that's not wrong. Like I mean,
Okay, because I'm getting tired of these British ass Batmans, bro.
Wait, what?
Well,
Oh,
Christian,
Christian
Robert
Bale's
Pattinson?
British.
Yeah,
Christian Bale.
yeah, you didn't know.
Robert Pattinson's British.
Wait, is he? Oh, you're right.
Yes, he's
I-
British
Who's
too.
Christian Bale?
Christian,
You mean Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Wait, is that not what you're saying?
No, I was calling
You
out the
said-
chick for Twilight, bro. No, I was
Yeah, he's
fucking it
saying Christian Bell.
Oh,
That's why I'm like, wait a minute, Drake Bell, who?
okay, I feel dumb as fuck. So I was like, no, yeah, he's right. Okay, all right. But no, like,
Y'all making fun of my friend over here calling him retarded. Aw, damn it, he is.
no, dude, I completely forgot about him being British. Although I keep going back to that Terminator Salvation thing where he yells at the camera guy like, "Oh, what the fuck, mate? What the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna go over there and fuck you up." Like the whole, screaming and shit. Which, by the way, I wish he would have acted like that in the fucking movie Terminator Salvation. He looked like he was fucking bored out of his mind. But no, I mean, hey, look, I agree with you in that sense, Ganja. I don't think that's a wrong thing for you to think that. But at the same time, I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about Michael Keaton. And by the way, I know, Roxy, you were saying, like, it's kind of cool that you can't tell that he's Batman. But that's just another way of saying that this motherfucker's boring. He's small, for one. He's always nervous. Like, when he talked to that one girl in the first Batman, like the Tim Burton movie or whatever the fuck. Like, he just
Because
felt...
he's a man who has feelings for a woman.
Oh, no. If you're a
God,
dude
God
who...
forbid you be nervous around another woman you like.
Oh, fuck that. That's some low dick energy. Small dick energy.
Okay, no. You mean to tell me you were nervous as hell talking to the person that you're with now?
Well, no, but I'm not Batman. Like, I can be...
I'm
I
not
can
saying
be
you're
a wimp.
Batman. What I'm saying is it's relatable.
I'm just saying I'm allowed to be a wimp. He's fucking Batman. He
You
beats
had
criminals.
small shrimp dick energy when you talked to the person you were talking to now. You were nervous as hell because you like them so much and you're like, oh my god, this person's so fucking perfect and I'm just a little shrimp dick boy.
Yeah, no, because Max is like, you would be nervous too. Yeah, I'm a nervous dude. I'm nervous just in general, just in life. I'm a fucking I suck, but like I'm
He
like
pukes
lesser
like
than
Eminem
likely.
before every show.
Literally, I'm basically lesser than unlikely if it feels real. That's me, except just fat too. But like, if I had the bat suit, I'd be like, dude, like I've seen some shit. You think I give a fuck if you like me, lady? Like I've seen people die.
I've seen Crocs made out of humans.
Dude, like I've seen fucking The Dark Knight Rises. Like, come on, get the fuck out of here. Everything I had to go through with Bane, my back was broken, spinal. All right, like I've been through some shit. I don't give a fuck about you.
Instead of retinal.
Yeah, no shit. I don't know. I love that whole Mike Tyson Bane. It was spinal. But yeah, dude, I just think that and then him being old, like, what are we gonna have? Are we gonna have like 2 Batmans? Like, basically, he's gonna like. Well, I guess it's like Flashpoint Batman. So maybe is it like a cartoon or something? Like, it's kind of weird to think that even if he's doing a voice, it's just he sounds older. He is older. You can't do it live action, and plus, there's just so many other people out there that they deserve the chance to be Batman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as Gandhi was saying earlier, all these British people are taking all these fucking roles. Like, can we just have like a new American guy who's not gonna die soon? No offense to Michael Keaton, but like, I'm scared about older people, man. Lots of people are dying. I mean, the next topic we're gonna talk about is somebody dying that's involved.
So
in the
who's your
Batman
ideal
universe.
Batman then?
Well, I didn't think about that.
No, like I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but just the way that you talk about it, it sounds like you have someone in mind. That's why I'm like, okay, well, who do you have in mind? Like Mike Tyson, like I don't know, the one bitch from Good Morning Today or whatever the fuck.
Jake Gyllenhaal is a big one. I would love to see Jake Gyllenhaal as Batman, especially the way he transforms his body and shit. Fucking dude, like he's amazing.
His body in Southpaw?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
The body
shit.
of Bubble Boy? Shit.
Fuck yeah, bro! In a bat bubble, just fucking chasing people in them stupid fucking bubble.
I promise I won't hurt the Vato.
Someone said John Hamm. I forgot who the fuck John Hamm is, dude. I'm not the best with movies and everything, but like, who's the
He's
guy?
not the old man from Jurassic Park.
Oh, no, that'd be
Wait,
terrible.
what?
John Hammond.
Oh no, you're thinking. Stop it. No, dude. Another person I'm thinking of too is like, why not have fucking the dude who did Quiet Place? What's his name? Fucking.
Oh, the dude from The Office?
Yeah. What's his? Fuck, I forgot his name. It's like John something. It's like some white dude name. Like.
Oh, I got you, John C. Reilly.
No.
No.
That'd be hilarious. Imagine him as like Batman in like an animated comedy show. That'd be fucking great.
He'll be more like a Lego Batman come to life, I guess.
Possibly. But yeah, dude, it's just, I don't know, there's just so many other choices. And granted, I'm not, aiding my point very well right now with not having a fucking answer, but
I feel like low-key you kind of want Arnold Schwarzenegger with like a stogie in one hand
fuck.
playing Batman and like
I am
his
the
little mini
Batman. Ha 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 ha.
his little
I
mini
love
pony that he
Gotham.
owns like in the other.
Oh no, there'll be a scene where he maybe breaks a fire hydrant or like one of those giant vats of like cool ice for no reason that appears in movies. He'd be like, "Ha, nice to meet you. I'm Batman."
Come on, Gotham is such a wonderful place. I love everybody in it, but you're gonna go down, motherfucker, and just start screaming and shit. And then Stallone's Joker,
Oh,
Oh,
God,
God,
that'd be kind
no.
of great. That'd be kind of great.
It's serious. Yeah, dude, I don't know what the fuck. Poor Michael Keaton. I'm sorry, because here's the thing. I like him. I loved him as a Vulture. He was fucking awesome in Spider-Man: Homecoming. I loved him. And the Founder, that McDonald's movie, and you know me, I love my McDonald's movies.
Mm-hmm.
He was fucking great as Mr. McDonald's. So, very great.
She was the best Ronald ever.
Dude, oh my god, wouldn't it be great if he fucking this should make Founder 2 and like explain like Ronald McDonald like just being a pervert or something. It'd be like Spotlight and the Founder put together. But yeah, dude, Michael Keaton's cool. I don't know what really else to say about that other than like, Jed, are you once again very fucking sick of all the Batman news?
Honestly, with this one, I'm more annoyed by the Flash. I don't like that Flash whatsoever.
Oh, Ezra Miller's Flash?
Yeah, I hate him. I absolutely cannot stand him.
Speaking of cancel culture, didn't he get canceled too?
Oh no, but,
Yeah, I
but
think-
comic books though, you can't cancel the comic book guys. We just want to fucking sit there with our superheroes. What were you saying, Jet?
This fucking Flash can't run. He can't fucking run. I don't want to see that again. I don't want to see this fucking Flash.
Yeah, man. Wow, this is kind of a weird thing over here. The cosmic book news. Oh, wow, you guys did a whole new fucking name, didn't you? He says Ezra Miller killed the Flash movie slash career. I don't know what the fuck, but like, I mean, it's obviously gonna happen. There was even talks about Bruce Wayne's dad being Jeffrey Dean Morgan. You know what I mean? Because he was in Batman v Superman. Because Negan's cool.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Negan is cool.
Like, holy shit! Look at that bat suit and everything.
I still remember him from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, as Denny or Danny. What's his name?
Danny.
Sean Higgins.
Live on ABC.
Danny H. Hey man, he says, can we cancel Michael Bay? We can. You know, I'm gonna go get to that right now. Actually, you know what's funny about him too? He actually might be canceled by just the place he's filming at because they're fucking like, dude, you can't be coming over here having like 1,000 people next to each other making a fucking movie during the pandemic. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't care. Blow things up. So I don't know. It's fucking strange.
I don't give a fuck.
Hello there, Mr. Sean Higgins. Yeah, man, thank you for actually joining our YouTube page or whatever and just coming over there and chilling with us. We're still talking about all this crazy fucking news, but we're going to get sad again. It's like the third time I've gotten sad today.
Rest in peace, bat nipples.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, he did bring the bat nipples. I forgot about that. Good old Joel Schumacher, man. Dies at 80 years old. At a certain point, let me ask you this, actually. We're going to get really philosophical here. At what age do you feel like it's not sad anymore that you died?
Anything past 75.
I kind of agree. I will say past 50. Roxy, what do you feel? What's a good age to die at, I guess?
Fuck, like a good age that like most people want to die at, or at the time that it stops getting sad.
Well, that one, the latter, because I forgot how I said it the first time.
Remember, death is always sad. I've seen people, like, if I'm being honest, I've seen a lot of people die at different ages. I've seen people die at 50. I've seen people die at 5. I've seen people die at 108.
Yeah.
Like, death is sad no matter what. You still know that, like, around the 90s and 100s that it's, you know, just about time for them to go, but it's still sad.
Yeah, like, and I agree with that. I think death is sad no matter what, but at the same time, it's like, look how fucking pimp this dude looks. Like, this dude's awesome.
Oh no, he's definitely an old gay queen heaven.
Yeah, well, I don't know about gay or queen.
No, he was a queen.
All right, well, shit. But I will say, it's just like even with Stan Lee, dude, like he turned into like a god. Like these guys, when they die, they should be celebrated. And I feel like Joel Schumacher, he should be celebrated. People always talk about that stupid fucking Batman movie. And by the way, I like that Batman movie a lot because Batman is stupid. I'm sorry, but Batman Forever, Batman Robin, like, yeah, they're for kids because they're fucking comic books, and I was a kid, like, into superheroes. So, yeah.
I love those toys.
Oh, dude.
Which one of the movies gave us a Kiss from a Rose?
Batman.
Oh, that's the one.
Forever.
Yeah. With Joel Schumacher. He did that one. It was fucking great.
Wait, did he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
He wanted this thing to be a cash cow, so he signed up for like toy details and everything. They had the toys done before the movies were.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Batsy, you gonna make Mama some jewelry?
No, he was fucking smart as shit. And then like just having like the greatest, or not greatest, I mean, but the most important actors at the time, like Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, whoever played Poison Ivy. What's her name? She's in Pulp Fiction.
Oh, that's
Uma Thurman.
Roxy's crush.
Uma Thurman. Yeah. All these people, it's like this guy was able to sell some stupid Batman movie with a fucking bat credit card and bat nipples, and all these stars are like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll get back to you, Quentin Tarantino. I'm gonna do bat nipples. All right, leave me the fuck alone. But this guy's done a lot more shit than that.
Bat nips.
No one ever talks about it. Oh, thank you once again for the subscription on YouTube, Sean Higgins. Appreciate it, man. Look at Charmander go.
Go Char, go Char, go.
But I gotta say, man, people don't bring up a lot of the other things that he's actually done, and I didn't even know this. So first off, before I even show it, 'cause it's gonna spoil it, but like he did Elmo's Fire. I don't know what that is. Saint Elmo's Fire. He did The Lost Boys. I actually never got a chance to watch it, but it's a vampire movie, and I'm
yeah,
sure
I was about to say, is that a vampire movie?
Yeah, and we. By the way, before we continue on, your rating really quick for Lost Boys, Roxy. What'd you feel about The Lost Boys?
It's been a minute since I've seen it, but I enjoyed it at the time when I saw it.
Them boys are still lost in her mind.
Where are we at, man?
As is the rating for that movie. But I enjoyed it. Like, it's good. Clearly, if I still have, like, good memories about it.
Yeah, man. And Sean Higgins says, what characters from Saw do you guys want to see coming back for sure? Oh, we'll talk about that later, I guess, because I'm very curious why you brought that up, as well as the fact that I would love to talk about Saw. But the big thing here from good old Joel Schumacher that I remember, but I didn't know that he made this until today, Falling Down. I did not know he did Falling Down. This is one of my favorite fucking movies, pretty much of like all time. It's in my top 10, for sure. And the thing is, I'm starting to realize something about Joel Schumacher because he also did, I think, Phantom of the Opera as well, or some other like type movie like that. And I'm just like, dude, like he's always reading his audience very, very well. Grown men will look back nostalgically and say, man, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin was some bullshit. It's like, yeah, because you're a grown-ass man looking at this shit trying to compare it to Dark Knight. It's a fucking dude in a bat costume. This was made for kids, and every kid that I knew when I was a kid loved Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. We had such a good time. Fucking Arnold as Mr. Freeze making ice puns. Like, that's... Do you not want that? Is that not awesome, Ganja?
It was.
Exactly.
It was.
Exactly.
It still is. I still enjoy those movies.
Yeah.
When they start ice skating for no goddamn reason.
Fuck
Yeah, do you know how cool it is to just knock your boots together and then fucking just blades come out? You can skate on ice. Bitch, that's the future right there.
Yeah, it's fucking badass. Like, people ask that thing, the self-lacing shoes from Back to the Future. No, I want those fucking, like, tip, I'm gonna cut your fucking throat off shoes. I want those. Those are fucking awesome. But with Falling Down, I feel like, once again, he read his audience very well because this movie, I feel like, really speaks to people like me that are kind of fucking crazy. Because in the trailer, and this is one of my favorite trailers ever because right away they just ask you, have you ever had a bad day? Have you just had a really terrible fucking day? And it's almost like disguised like that's going to be the movie. It's so not the movie. But you don't know that that's not the movie until halfway or even fucking more than halfway through. So before we continue on, Roxy, have you ever heard about this movie before I mentioned it to you?
I don't know if you guys are familiar with some of the VH1 shows that used to come on back in the day. Like, I love the 80s, I love the 90s, I love toys, like their whole I Love series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They touched on this movie. And I vividly remember him going into what I thought was a McDonald's and shooting it up and shit. So once I saw that, it's like I put two and two together, and then I saw it for the first time today.
Yeah, because I love this movie, and here's the biggest thing about this, too, is that when I saw Falling Down, I was a kid, and to be completely just straight up with everything, too, the movie resonates with me very well because my dad actually suffered a lot from uncontrollable fucking anger. Don't know if you guys can tell, but I feel like, you know, he really, like, related or just seemed very close to Michael Douglas's character, and I'm going to be honest, man, nowadays, I feel close to Michael Douglas's character. You know, his name's Bill, and the dude's just, on top of just having a fucking bad day, there is something in here, and I'm not going to kind of, like, say what it is on the show and not reveal it, but they kind of don't reveal it either. It's just the dude has a problem controlling his fucking anger, and he just flips out at the smallest fucking thing, but all these things that happen here, I feel like most people watching this can relate to it so much that they can't tell there's something fucked up. But Ganja, do you see yourself at all relating to any of the things that happen here? Or when did you find out that the story wasn't actually what it, you know, says it is?
Oh no, I figured it off right away. Like the way he was kind of acting, like so, like distant from everyone and kind of alienated from the people he was coming in contact with, and he kept calling his wife, was a big indicator for me. Like, oh, something's wrong because she is not happy to hear his phone calls at all in the slightest. So once that began happening, I began to notice that was kind of a trend throughout the movie. Every time he calls his wife, she'll get more and more upset with him, or she'll like act more scared. So that kind of, like I said, gave me an indication like, oh, this guy might be a fucking nuts. And as the rest of the movie goes on, it's like you understand his anger to a certain extent, but the vast majority of his anger just comes from the dude has anger issues. Like, as much as you want to justify like the fact that the McDonald's doesn't know how to cook your burgers that well, and you don't ever get what's on the picture, but at the end of the day, you don't react by machine gunning the fucking Burger King now.
I agree with that part too, but it's just I don't even want to say this, but there's times where I not pull a gun out, but like there's times where I'm at a fucking burger place and I just want to say, hey, is this your burger here? And just squeeze it and then break the fucking cash register and not steal anything. I just want to, like, I'm not gonna harm anybody, but I'm gonna fuck this place up. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of your foundation. Like, I just want to destroy. Roxy, you and me have very in common just the lack of dealing with people's shit. How'd you feel watching this? Did you relate at all, or was anything kind of like, oh no, this motherfucker's crazy, I would never do that?
I actually have experience with some of these people since I worked in adult crisis, so I knew the telltale signs right off the bat. I did feel some of his anger though.
Yeah.
Okay, my car is never personally broken down in traffic, but just seeing the scene of just seeing like fed up by traffic, you roll down the windows because your AC don't work, and just that intense sweating, that part I agreed with him on. If he just up and left his car there, cool. The rest of the movie, no. I kind of get it, but I'm a little disturbed by it, if we're being honest. Because I feel like there's still some people out there who look at this dude and he's like, no, that's the real American hero. He's speaking it out. Like, he starts calling out a bunch of different situations that happen in the movie that the typical white man would love to just point out and call out. And I mainly saw like
part,
a white,
you know,
the Mexican part, the what was he? Korean?
Yeah. Ooh,
The Korean part.
Yeah.
The fact that he was, killing a lot of minorities in this movie. It's a lot of white man being inconvenienced. It's a lot of white male pressure, the fear of change.
Yeah. Well, even there's a part here too, like
being, taken away from him.
that scene right here. Because I forgot about this, and I watched this again a little bit today when I had a chance, and I stopped right here. When they're telling them, and by the way, Mexican dudes are bad guys. They're being assholes, and I've met Chicanos like that fuck with me a lot too. So it's like, I know it's bad and it's offensive to Mexicans, but like I am Mexican, and this shit rings true a little bit. So sorry, but like there is a line he says where I'm like, ooh, like that's not cool. But he gets up.
Was it
like,
the part about him stepping in on his little shit stain territory or whatever?
That too, but then also after he says, like, you know what, I'll leave because I don't want you people in my backyard either. You people. You know what I mean? It's like, if I was a white supremacist, I would probably replay that a couple times while I'm jacking off. Like, does that not sound a little like racially charged? I wouldn't want you people in my backyard either.
All right, so I have an in-depth analysis of that because of my education, like right-wing fascist theory, because of what I do in my life and the people I come in contact with. Got to keep your head up, don't get caught slacking on these streets, folks. So I'll educate you guys on that later. But there's a lot of I don't know. Like, see the thing where I don't think Joel Schumacher is giving Nazis porn, but I'll get into it later after you guys give your review.
Yeah, because the biggest thing about this too, and speaking of Joel Schumacher, is that he knew his audience. He knew that there's gonna be an incel type fucking people watching this because they're like, yeah, dude, I've had a bad day. Every day I have is fucking bad, and I hate dealing with these things. I hate dealing with that things. I hate rich people. I hate black people. I hate fucking Mexicans and all that shit. And then this dude, and once again, pulls out a gun, and it's like, oh fuck, like, I hope no one watches this and says I'm gonna buy a fucking gun and lose my fucking mind over something. But my thing is about this is like, I think it's good that he knew his audience and was able to really entertain like exactly the fucking demographic he was going for. But I think that a movie like this would not be made well today. Because to be honest, people always say that Taxi Driver is like the first version of like the Joker, the new Joker, Joaquin Phoenix. Nah, this movie is fucking the Joker. I feel like this is definitely.
I feel like this is better. I don't know about you, babe, but I feel like this is way better than the Joker.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm pretty sure it's not Joel Schumacher's intention to jack off to the Nazis and fondle their balls a little bit. But the fact that people could see this and turn it a different way, much similar to what happened in the Joker situation. The fact that there are people out there who look at this character, I don't remember what his name was, but I remember his license plate, Defense. Yeah, the fact that they could look at this man and just be like, yes, he's a real American hero. Like, you're missing the entire point. The same thing with Joker. If you look at Joker and you think he's a hero, you're missing the point.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a weird thing about that, too. It's like, the whole movie mostly he's a protagonist, but I mean you guys got to see it. I mean, like I said, I saw this when I was a kid, so I remember like being kind of like loopy and not really understanding like what's going on. But all these things, I'm like, oh, he's cool, loud guns, boom, 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 boom. This is fucking great. And you guys notice that like, no, he's mentally ill. So it's just like, it's weird that like for me, I still see him as a protagonist because I remember seeing this when I was a kid. And it's not till like way, way later where it's like, oh shit, no, he's definitely not the protagonist, and he is definitely going to do something really, really fucked up at the end. The thing that they kind of allude to that he might do, did you guys think that it was going to have a bad ending or a good ending?
Oh, I knew it was gonna have a bad ending right off the bat.
It was like the same film from Uncut Gems. There was a
Yeah.
lot of stress and there was a lot of like emotions flare up towards that was building, especially with him constantly calling the wife and whatnot. That I knew this was not going to have a good ending in the slightest, either for the cop character, the wife, or the daughter, or even the main character himself. Someone was going to have a shitty fucking time.
Yeah. And Jet, I know it's been a while since you watched this, but what you feel about how this movie ended too? Did you feel like I don't know, like in general, like did you even like this? Because it's been a while.
I do remember actually liking this movie, and I feel like it actually did need to end the way it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense to end it any other way.
Did you feel like any of this was a little offensive or a little like just aged bad because of the fact that's like I mean like the Mexican stuff or some of those things? You feel like ooh that's kind of cringy.
I think I remember while watching and just being like, ooh, yuck. And like, yeah, it's obvious pretty like early on that like, yeah, there's some parts where you feel sorry for him, but as it goes on, like, you understand where he's coming from, and just like you shouldn't feel sympathy for this dude because he turned like full blown, terrible.
Yeah, these characters right here, or the wife at least. I think that right away, they made her a little bitchy. Like there's a part where a cop goes in there, and the cop's just like, "Hey, so what do you do?" He's like, "Well, he never hurt me, but he might." It's like, do you feel like that's something that I don't know, like it's very undefensible? It's almost like, wait, what the fuck? Like,
I mean, there's a reason why she got away from him.
yeah, but I almost like that almost made me kind of go on his side a little bit. Like, wait, he never hit you. Like, what was that thing that happened that you're like, I need to kick this motherfucker out? Like,
You don't have to hit someone for. You don't necessarily have to put your hands on someone for you to fear their life. There's threatening. There's threats. There's intimidation tactics. There's ways of getting into someone's head to make them kind of fear you.
Mm-hmm.
and I can see that too. But and once again, I mean, I'm coming from this with the mindset of just like being a child and just wanting to see my main dude just fuck somebody up, and it's like,
I will say I do find it interesting that he actually did think that he was actually the good guy throughout all of this. Basically, like he did explain it somewhere in the movie, like, yeah, I did this, I did everything I was supposed to. How the hell did I end up like this?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a part where even his mom's talking about, like, no, like, he always paid his bills, he did this, he did that, he just wants to fucking
He's
do
basically
right.
the version of Hank Hill if Hank Hill went fucking crazy.
When he finally got laid off from Strickland Propane,
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, God damn it, Bobby!
Tell Bobby I'm coming home for his birthday. No, Hank.
But, one more thing I gotta bring up, too, is what do you guys think about Robert Duvall's character and just how he's basically the psycho whisperer?
Yo, I fuck with fucking Officer Pendergrass, man.
Yeah, I love him, right? Like,
Yo, he's the best character in this whole shit.
yeah, I thought he was...
Aside from the dog,
Yes.
I
Dog's
fuck
a good
with
boy.
Pender G. I never thought I would ever fuck with a man named Pendergrass, but oh my god, I fucking love this character.
Yeah, because, dude, his wife thing, like, the older I get, his thing with his wife breaks my fucking heart, man. Like, just the fact that she's nuts and he's just dealing with this shit, just kind of like, like, I mean, there's a part where he loses his mind on her, like, hey, what the fuck? Like, I'm trying to fucking be calm here. Like,
I
it's
don't
just fucking
think
nuts.
she's nuts. I think she's over worried for him because what's the stereotype for cops on their last days?
Yeah.
They get killed. But
Yeah.
also, he already has been wounded on the line of duty. So she's already expecting a phone call. Hey, you either comes to the hospital or, hey, we need you to come identify your husband.
Yeah.
So that's been her mindset. What seems like what's driving him to get out the force is she's been bothering with him with that.
Yeah. No, I feel the exact same way. But yeah, like, Roxy, do you feel like when they do little things where he's kind of like really understanding where mental illness is coming from, blah, 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 like, is that, I mean, do you see people act like that in real life? Like, do you think they did it pretty realistically here?
I would think so, with the things that I've seen in my line of work, and just even experiencing that personal thing. Like, there was something that happened with my dad on the job where after that happened, you think about the situation and how it could have possibly turned out. So you're just like, no, I don't want you to go. Like, what if it happens again? I don't want this to happen to you. I want you to be safe. Like, I don't want to lose you. So I can understand where you kind of get where she's coming from, because she can't control the situation. So she's like, no, we should move. Like, we should go. Like, The fact that he's behind a desk still isn't going to be enough for her because she wants him safe. She wants him home. She wants him in a place where she can see him. And the fact that he's still working a dangerous job, even though he's behind the desk, she's still worried that something might happen.
Yeah, and I'm very curious what you guys think about this really quick, too. Speaking of Robert Duvall's character, Pendergrass, this girl was trying to get some of that ass. I feel that way. I don't know if you guys see the same thing.
Yo, he was like a G, bro. Every time he avoided her advances so quickly.
That Pender ass.
I feel like this is a fucking great example that I think like guys should see, where it's like this is how you're able, like, because every time there's like a cheating situation, a guy cheats, he's always like, I couldn't help it, man. She just hopped on my dick. I don't know.
Oh, that's
man.
bullshit.
Pee-pee got hard and it fell into her.
Yeah, I can't control my pee-pee.
Can I just say that real quick? Just because I've experienced this a couple times with some cheaters in my past, which some of you are aware of if you know my past. No, there is nothing on earth another person could do to seduce you away if you're with someone in a relationship. I don't care if that person strips for you, holds you at gunpoint. There is nothing that they could do within their power to make that person cheat on them. It ultimately comes down to the decision of the person at hand. That person either has two choices. Either they cheat or they don't cheat.
Mm-hmm.
She could be the finest bitch on earth. This could be the finest man on earth. You're not going to cheat or you're going to cheat.
Exactly. By the way, thank you very much for those bits, E-Mike. And I will talk about those in a bit, actually, because I did talk about Sasha Banks already, but I haven't talked about John Gallagher or Ligerio, but we'll discuss that in a bit for sure. But yeah, man, it's just like, I completely agree with everything you said, Rox, but for some reason, some dudes just don't fucking get it. I don't understand. It's like, it's still a fucking excuse. And looking over here, it's like, they really handled it well, where he's just kind of like, he didn't have to be shitty about it. He didn't have to go like, oh, bitch, fuck you, I have my wife. It was just kind of like, no, I'm not going to fuck you. Like, that's
They didn't try to make him like lead her on either, because if you notice that in some movies they do that where they play into it and the person that's being seduced leads him on a little bit, like, ooh, like, I'm interested. But no, my wife. I must choose the greater good and be faithful to my wife.
Yeah.
No, this dude straight up said, no, I don't want your pussy. I don't want your coochie.
Yeah.
In the politest way possible, because, you know, we're co-workers.
No, madam, I do not wish to have any part of your coochie. I have a loving wife at home that I wish to take part in this loving relationship for the rest of my life. I appreciate the offer, but I will now skedaddle. Thank you.
Did you touch my penis? Yeah, dude, I fucking, like I said, I mean, I'll end this whole thing off with just like, dude, I love this movie. I love this movie so much. It's like easily in my top 10 best movies fucking I've ever watched. That's up there with Scarface, Terminator 2, Friday, Uncut Gems, End of Watch, Nightcrawler. Like, I fucking adore this movie. I give this a 5 out of 5. Everything is so well. They built this universe so well. They actually, I mean, you start learning a little bit about the area and LA and shit. And no one ever thinks and talks about just not having a car and not having like a place to be and just being out there in a crazy world. Like, when homeless people are running around, they're sweating as much as they are, and like all that construction work's going on and traffic's crazy and all the fucking honking the horns. This is a form of hell, guys. Like, this is hell. And we all go through it every fucking day, and yet we make it back home not crazy. And we should be kind of like fucking happy with ourselves that we didn't lose our fucking minds. It's like, this world is so full of shitty fucking people and craziness and mental illness, and yet every day we just fucking we're alive. So this does a really good job just showing how crazy LA is, and I feel like every city that everyone in the chat's in, or everybody to call, like, we all have our own version of that. And yeah, I don't like being outside. So, yeah, 5 out of 5 for me. Ganja, I'm going to start off with you, man. What rating would you give this?
I'll give it a 5 out of 5, but I just want to go in depth on some things that I noticed about the movie that I did find fucking interesting, and I'm wondering if Joe Schumacher did it on purpose.
What's up?
And one of the things that I've noticed, and this explains a lot of Nazi shit to me, as the character, I don't know if you noticed, but as the character begins to like really fall into like his anger attitude and his I don't give a fuck anymore, I'm gonna prove what's right about the world because I've been wrong and now everyone's gonna feel what I feel. It all starts off from the premise that he, especially as you get through the rest of the film, you get this more knowledge of it. He starts off this premise that he's a good guy, that he's done everything right, and that like nothing that he's done has been like a negative attitude. And he ignores all like the social stuff that he's done. Like if you watch the video, he has a flashback. I don't know if this was actually in the family video he watches towards the end, or this was him having a mental moment. But either that or whatever happens with that case, he has a moment where he's watching the old family videos and he sees him descend into what he's later like his full like point of view is of this angry guy that wants to force things on people and feels like he's right in just whatever he wants to do, even if that includes getting a perfect shot of his daughter on a horsey and having fun, like you see in those fancy pictures from like the 70s and 50s of like, hey, this is what kids are like when they're being loved and treated well, horsey love and all that crazy shit. So it comes off of this really Americana attitude of like, hey, if you're the working stiff, you do all this stuff, you have a certain right of like guaranteed good living. And as you watch him like essentially get laid off, you find out he gets laid off. So him working for the government, being a defense contractor, trying to help the government get all this type of money, that doesn't work anymore. He's laid off. He gets fired for either his mental disability or he's just laid off. They never go into detail why he got fired. They just call back and say, hey, the guy was fired. So it's from extrapolating on that thing. You just see this man slowly descend of what the American dream was for him, and it slowly be robbed from what he sees as outside agitation, which is also right, because there's a moment where he sees a guy that was either trying to get a business loan or was trying to work for a company there, and he's saying that he's not economically viable.
Yeah, I love that scene so much.
And that sticks with him. And the only reason it sticks with him because either he got laid off from his job or he got fired from some bullshit. At the end, he mentioned something about like the computers got more fancier than he is, and he didn't get like he was no longer skilled enough to do it. So with that, he got fired or laid off or whatever have you, and he got everything took it from him. And the one thing that he did throughout the film is he blamed everything else around him. But he did not realize, yes, he was right in certain aspects. If you see the Chicanos, the way they fucked with him, and the way that extravagated to what eventually led to the shootout, as well as like the Nazi dude fucking with him. But even then, when he runs into the Nazi dude, he has a moment where he tells the Nazi dude, "Hey, I'm not like you. I'm not. Fuck you, bro. We ain't the same." And one of the reasons for that is, and I think this is where I think Joel Schumacher was trying to separate the idea of like hardcore individualism, where it takes the idea of like, hey, I'm gonna become a vigilante and right the wrongs that I perceive were done to me or done to the people around me that deserve to be righted, and someone who thinks that like it was done personally because so and so are doing better than them in their lifespan. He was blaming a system that he felt was unjust, but he was taken out on everything else except for a race. That's what separates him. He's not a racist. He more represents the kind of like the most regular kind of Americana machismo mind of, hey, I'm just going to go out there and change the shit that fucks with me all the time, and I'm going to do it my way. Whereas his separation with the Nazi guy and him killing him and basically showing that, hey, he's not doing this for a race reason. I'm glad you showed the rocket launcher scene, because right after he kills the Nazi, he hangs out with a black kid that teaches him how to use the RPG.
Yeah. Yep.
So that right there shows that his chaos is more of a sense of like an injustice that was done to him, as well as his mental illness, because a lot of this is his mental illness. It's just it intersects with his mental illness, because as much as he is this asshole that's abusive, that jumps to anger, the world is also an asshole that jumps to anger and is abusive.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, honestly, it's like a fucking like a poem. Like,
and the reason that I think the Pendergrass scene is hit so hard at the end is it's the only moment he runs into someone that's human to him.
Yeah, and it's almost like, I mean, it's kind of like the movie saying, like, if you were just fucking nice, like, you could probably solve a lot of shit. If you just talked, you know, and just wasn't a complete fucking asshole. Like,
well, they talk about that too, with the whole mom ignoring what he's become and shit.
Yeah, cool. I mean, his mom was like, even like, what the fuck were you doing in my house? And it just took a minute, like, oh, where are these? These are nice little things you made. And it's like, yeah, just be nice. What the fuck is so hard? And it's like, still, that's what life is today. Just, hey, don't shoot people when you are going to arrest them or whatever. Like, don't fucking, you know, go into people's houses and kill them. You know, don't talk shit on somebody on the internet. Don't defend fucking rapists. You know, like, don't be an asshole. It's a really, really simple fucking rule.
All right, so he's a bad guy. Like, I'm going to disagree with you on that, Nick. He's a bad guy.
Oh, I thought he was a hero. I did, when I was a kid, I thought he was a hero.
I know you did. But as a kid, I did too. But I watched this as an adult and real more shit that I know now. I was like, no, this dude's a bad guy. But at the end of the day, with all his craziness, he did die for a reason. Because he realized his insurance money was worth more than him just staying around bars.
Yeah. No, that's another thing too. Yeah, he's just like, because the guy's like, come on, man, you gonna live a life like that? He's like, what, see my daughter be behind bars? Like,
He pulled that Captain America. No, I don't think I will.
Yeah, which that was a great way to fucking go out too. Yeah, dude, I fucking love this movie. But you gave it a 5 out of 5. I did too. Jed, I'm gonna ask you. I mean, I know it's been a while since you watched this, but if you had to put a number on it, what would you give this out of 5?
Probably a 4.5.
Okay.
Mostly because I don't really remember too much about it, but I do remember liking it.
Roxy, what would you give this movie? And any further comments you want to make about it, by the way?
Well, something that stuck out to me was when Panda G came to his mom's house, and actually what he did to kind of calm her down is actually a tactic that we use in human services, is whenever you do want to approach somebody that is confrontational, and I'm not saying it works for everybody now, so please do
Don't
not
do this
use
to your
this as
bipolar dad
advice.
and get your ass checked.
Don't use this way to like try to talk to somebody that's holding a gun at your head, because you may or may not get shot.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was able to use like her little trinkets as a way to calm her down, as a way to get her to kind of lose her guard and to get her to talk and open up, that was actually pretty modern for its time. He didn't like just write it off as, oh, this bitch is crazy, this bitch is angry. Like, it actually humanized her and helped us understand her better in a way, which is something I always try to look for, especially with being in human services. That's something I always try to look for when it comes to movies, is actually like keeping that in mind, that like people are people. They don't just act that way for no reason. There's always a reason behind it.
Yeah, and it was tragic just how empty the house is and everything too. And it's like, loneliness can make you go crazy too. You know what I mean? Just being there, your son's out fucking, with his family, and then, or you think he's with his family, you think he's at work, but he's not. And you just sit there with you and your little trinkets, just losing your fucking mind because no socializing. Just.
But for me, this movie was a 5 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I really got to see the human aspect of it with Pendergy. I love seeing Pendergy going off on his wife.
Yeah.
I love to be able to not only understand where the protagonist is coming from, but also kind of just breaking down the movie into different chunks and different understandings, seeing the symbolism behind it. And another thing I would like to give this movie is, when it comes to symbolism, it was never like, you know how in a lot of modern day films, they feel the need to pile it on with like the soundtrack and all the stuff in the background and this and that. You have to like sandwich it all in order to present the symbolism. It didn't do that. Like, it literally, like, you saw the house was empty.
Yeah.
You saw the trinkets. You saw the fact that her son's room was untouched despite him not being there for like months on end, clean and pristine. She's still like, that's her way of coping. She still cleans her son's room. She still does this and that to kind of give her that feeling of like, yes, he's still there, but she's still intimidated by him when she's like, oh, no, we're not supposed to be here. As if he's coming back. That just shows like how big of a mental grip this dude has on his mom, how big an effect that has. So seeing all that stuff piled in together into the movie was great for me. I loved it.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad you guys liked it, because I was worried. Sometimes these movies, especially in the 90s, they don't age very, very well. And there's certain things about this that don't age too well, too. I mean, some things can be a little corny, whatever. I mean, even this, too, like, I don't think this was too much. Now, as a cynical, fucking angry person I am, I think this is a little much, like, London Bridge is falling down. But it's like, his brain is falling down. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I'm losing my fucking mind. Fucking mind. Fucking mind. So, it's just,
Silver Shamrock.
Man, I that song, I don't even want to sing it because it gets stuck in my fucking head, and I'll have to watch Halloween 3, and I'll be mad that Michael Myers isn't in it, so I'm not even going to do that. But, yeah, man, so pretty much all of us gave it a pretty high rating, which is cool as fuck, and somebody in the chat, E-Mike, he was saying, that's the next Schumacher film you guys should do, is definitely The Lost Boys, and that's actually his favorite movie. I've never seen The Lost Boys. You guys seem to think that it's okay. I wouldn't mind watching it, honestly.
I wouldn't mind checking it out.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind checking it out after we check out the apple.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
No, not the
We gotta
apple.
do that speed.
We still gotta check out the apple.
Oh, no.
Speed.
I think that Jeb will like the apple because she likes to torture people.
Popping power by the hour.
I gotta find a movie to torture Jet with because there's tons of payback we got. She showed me Shark Exorcist.
You already tortured me with movies. You made me watch them boring-ass action movies.
No, you get to admit, even like the Netflix ones are pretty cool too, with Chris Hemsworth just shooting people and everything. Distraction, it's pretty good. God damn it. Really quick though, before we get out of here, Oh, that's awful, you Mike. He says, hopefully John Carpenter can stay alive. I hope he can too, man. Jesus Christ. But yeah, rest in peace to Joel Schumacher in general too. Like that's just fucking rough that happened. But 8 years old, he lived a pretty good life. But one of the things that E Mike was talking about is all this stuff about apparently these other wrestlers. Dude, so I don't know what happened with Jack Gallagher and him getting in trouble and everything, but I gotta tell you, dude, like they need to really, really figure out how true some of this shit is and just get rid of him just in case. I am very much against the idea that Matt Riddle, who basically there's a story, he said something about how basically his, some ex-girlfriend of his was stalking him and his wife. And you had to consider the source, but his wife was like, oh, yes, he's totally getting stalked by her, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, like Matt has a history of basically forcing this girl Candy Cartwright to go down on him and all this other crazy shit. There's even witnesses. There's a bunch of stuff that kind of proves that to be correct. I don't know if you agree with this, E-Mike, but they should definitely at least not have him on the show. But as much as we're talking about AEW canceling this and having this guy go and suspending him without pay, they're still fucking up because Matt Riddle's going to be on SmackDown this week. So as far as these sex things when it comes to WWE shit, I'm not even going to fucking talk about any of it because I don't know. I don't know how true some of this stuff is, and a big thing about it is that WWE is so shitty. I cannot believe that they're not. It just makes me not want to watch wrestling, to be honest. It's like the Hollywood thing, like, and not to piss anybody off in here too, but like the jokes with the James Gunn pedophile stuff, and yet we're all gonna watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Like, it really makes me fucking mad. So yeah, I mean, I can't control if I like something they did in the past, but like, I'll ask you guys in chat really quick, like, and in the call, like Ganja. When you hear about some of these things, like, can you allow yourself to watch some of these new projects, like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or anything like that?
We have to watch it because of our job. Let's be honest. Like, you guys want to hear our opinions on this stuff, and it's a good way to get views, and it's a good way to attract people that want to, get some more content when it comes to these movies and hear other people's opinions. That either they're gonna hate on the movie or they're gonna hate on our opinion, and they'll be like, "Hey, I like hating on these people's opinions, so we're gonna give them bits." All that kind of crazy shit. Also, thank you, Mike, for the bits, by the way.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
And when it comes to like Matt Riddle and stuff, I had a little hope for the kid because Rufus has told me he's like basically the new stoner character on the show.
Yeah.
And I hope for a new RVD because like he got kicked out for his use of pot and shit like that. But hearing this shit, it's like, oh great, another person. I was like, oh man, I hope he got good intentions. I hope he comes out like a good kid, and he just comes out, he tries to make people entertained, does his good thing here for wrestling. Oh no, sexual assault. Well, fuck, right? I think that about a bitch. But I'm not surprised with WWE at the point. I'm kind of surprised you are.
Yeah, and I feel dumb, but like, yeah, I'm surprised I am too. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, and like, yeah, I agree with Joey Ryan getting fired from Impact Wrestling. Thank you again for them bits. I really love you very, very much, sir. But yeah, I don't know if you agree or disagree with me, E-Mike, but yeah, dude, Joey Ryan with the whole like touch people's genitals and all that shit that's his gimmick, and then everyone's like, oh, shock Pikachu face when he's actually that fucking type of guy. It's fucking rough. But anyways, hopefully Matt Riddle can smoke this all away and fucking do whatever he's gonna do. But yeah, dude, this is a bad time, man, and I just don't want to be into any kind of entertainment because at this point, you can't be in The Last of Us 2 because, fucking crunch time, they're abusing their employees. Same thing with Pokemon, and then movies, all that shit that Ganja and Roxy will tell you all about, and then wrestling, which I'll tell you all about. It's fucked up, man. This whole fucking world is fucked up. But not to get all sad. We're going to get the fuck out of here. Corey's doing his thing right now. Go watch him. Go enjoy your stuff. But before you do that, though, make sure to like whatever you're watching this fucking platform on. And go follow Ganja Guru at where?
At the Luminati Podcast on Metropolis Collective on Facebook. Where me and the great Birdman, Alan Checkzine, and the great Rufus Wonder talk about politics, talk about cultural stuff. Bring all you guys the type of hype and conversational pieces you guys love on the Metropolis Collective. So that's on Facebook, Spotify, and everything else. We had an episode we were going to do. We recorded it, but my co-host forgot to tell me, like, hey, bro, your audio is not syncing up. I don't hear anyone conversating but me and the other special co-hosts we had. So, shout out to Cedric and the beautiful Miss Roxy for coming on the show, but the audio might be lost and we might have to do a re-record, so you might not get an episode coming up for the next week.
All right, but we'll make sure to let you guys know, too, though, because once we end these shows, anything that kind of comes up with Metropolis, we'll let you guys know. Speaking of letting you guys know what things.
Also, go to my Twitter, @RayGotDrew.
Oh, yes, go over there and hang out with them on tweets. And
also, you keep forgetting to mention that Cedric has a show.
It's a sports show. It's a
Metro
sports show.
Metro Sports.
Great.
Go check it out.
We're gonna get the fuck out of here though. I want to let you guys know that there is more topics that I actually had in the description today. We'll talk about those tomorrow. We're probably gonna be reviewing The Lost Boys probably by Wednesday, because I do think we should probably touch on that. But aside from that though, man, thank you guys for chilling with us. Make sure to share as much as you can. I really need it and I really appreciate it. I would love you guys if you do that. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for everything. And now it's time for us to get the fuck out of here. So goodbye. Twitch.tv double toasted. Go over there, check it out, and we are gone. See ya. I'm not financially viable, Ganja.
That's because you attacked the chat, bitch.